Welcome to a look into the unknown. Today we're diving into a place most people wouldn't want to spend the night in. Room 428 at Ohio University.
Yeah, Ohio University, pretty big school, almost 20,000 students just on the main campus. You might even know it as the school MacGyver himself went to. Richard Dean Anderson.
Oh, wow.
Or, how about Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart Simpson?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know they went there.
Yep, both alumni.
Huh. So today, though, we're not talking about pop culture or, famous alumni. We're going deep into the shadows of one of the dorms there, Wilson Hall.
Wilson Hall sounds harmless enough, right?
Yeah, just like another dorm.
Wilson Hall hides an extraordinary secret, a sealed-off room, just completely shrouded in mystery.
Room 428. So what is it about this room that makes it so fascinating? Why is this room sealed off?
Well, it's the stories, the sheer volume of stories about this room. And it's not just rumors whispered among students,
Right.
These reports, they go back decades, and they've really given this room a reputation as one of the most haunted places in America.
Okay, so haunted. But what are people actually saying happened in there? What makes it so haunted?
Well, the most common story, it centers around a student who died in that room after performing some kind of occult ritual.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The specifics, though, they're pretty murky.
Yeah, of course.
No one seems to know exactly what the ritual was, but
Yeah.
the implication is clear. Whatever it was, it opened a door to something dark.
Oh, so like malevolent spirits.
Exactly.
And that turned the room into this paranormal hotspot.
Right, that's the idea anyway.
An occult ritual gone wrong. I mean, that's terrifying. But is there actually any historical evidence to back this up? Or is it all just word of mouth?
Well, unfortunately, concrete evidence, that's pretty hard to come by.
Yeah, it makes sense.
If this event actually happened, it was probably before, widespread internet documentation and all that.
Yeah, no cameras around to catch it.
Right, but the fact that the story has persisted for so long, passed down through generations of students, it really says something about how deeply this story resonates with that room.
Yeah, it's like the story itself is haunting the room.
Exactly.
So when we say paranormal activity,
Mm-hmm.
what are we actually talking about here? Are we talking full-on ghost sightings? Or is it more subtle than that?
Well, the reports, they really run the gamut. Some are unsettling, some are downright terrifying.
Oh no, like what? Give me an example.
Well, students have described objects moving on their own, doors slamming shut, even when there's no breeze.
Oh wow.
Shadowy figures lurking just out of sight. And some even claim to have seen a face appearing on the door to room 428.
A face on the door. That's straight out of a horror movie.
Yeah, it's creepy stuff.
Was this like a one-time thing? Or did this face keep showing up?
Well, that's the chilling part. This face reportedly reappeared, even after the door was replaced, multiple times, like they'd put up a new door, and the face would just appear again.
You're kidding, nope. Oh, that's really creepy. Makes you wonder if some stains are just impossible to erase. Especially a place with such a dark history.
Yeah, it makes you think.
So is there anything about the location of Wilson Hall itself that might explain all this? I mean, maybe there's something about the land it's built on.
Well, that's where things get even more interesting. One theory is that Wilson Hall, it sits at the center of a pentagram, formed by 5 surrounding cemeteries.
Whoa! A pentagram of cemeteries.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild idea.
No kidding. And I mean, the pentagram's a pretty loaded symbol, especially when it comes to the occult.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely adds another layer of intrigue to this whole thing.
It does, it does. But I also remember reading something about a different theory, something about Wilson Hall being built on top of an old burial ground.
Right, that's another theory, that Wilson Hall is sitting on a site of significance. Could be an indigenous burial ground, or maybe even the cemetery of the old Athens Lunatic Asylum.
Oh yeah, the Athens Lunatic Asylum.
Yeah,
That place has a pretty chilling reputation all on its own.
it does. It operated for over a century, from 1874 to 1993.
Wow.
And let's just say, mental health treatment back then, it wasn't exactly known for being gentle.
Yeah, understatement of the century.
Yeah, the asylum's history, it's filled with stories of some truly inhumane treatments.
Like what? What kind of treatments?
Well, they used electroshock therapy, lobotomies, and hydrotherapy.
Hydrotherapy?
Yeah. Basically, they'd use prolonged baths or wraps, often with ice-cold water, as a way to control the patients.
Oh wow. That's awful.
Yeah, it was rough.
It's hard to even imagine the trauma those patients went through.
It really is.
Yeah, and it just makes you wonder if those traumas, like if they could somehow linker and maybe contribute to this unsettling energy around room 428.
It's certainly possible.
So, is there actually a confirmed link between Wilson Hall and the asylum's burial ground?
Well, a direct link hasn't been confirmed, but what we do know is the two sites are incredibly close.
Oh wow. How close are we talking?
Wilson Hall is practically a stone's throw from the former asylum grounds.
Wow. That's That's unsettlingly close. Okay, I'm starting to see how all these pieces fit together. These layers of history.
Yeah, it all adds up.
So we've been talking about the asylum. You mentioned it's filled with all these chilling stories. Is there one in particular that stands out to you?
Oh, there are so many. But there's one that really continues to haunt people. Visitors, researchers, everyone. The story of Margaret Schilling.
Margaret Schilling.
She was a patient at the asylum, deaf and mute, and she disappeared in 1978.
Disappeared, like vanished without a trace.
Exactly.
And no one knew what happened to her.
No one. For 6 weeks, no one had any idea where she was or what had happened.
Oh, wow.
And then, in January of 1979, there was a chilling discovery.
Oh, no.
A cleaning staff member found Margaret's body in the attic of the asylum.
That's awful. What had happened to her?
That's the thing. The circumstances surrounding her death are still a mystery. They found her body naked and badly decomposed, which suggests she'd been up there for quite a while.
Oh, gosh.
But what's truly chilling is this detail about a silhouette.
A silhouette? What do you mean?
Well, when they removed Margaret's body from the attic, there was a faint outline of her form, etched into the floorboards,
Wow.
as if her very essence had seeped into the building.
That's a really haunting image. It's like some experiences, some traumas, they leave an imprint, something that can't be erased, even after death.
Yeah, it makes you think.
So is Margaret's story just one of many? I mean, were there other tragedies within those asylum walls?
It's certainly possible.
So here we have this sealed-off room, room 428, filled with stories of occult rituals and unexplained phenomena. And right nearby, we have this former lunatic asylum with a history of inhumane treatment and unsettling disappearances. What does it all mean? I mean, is it just a collection of spooky stories? Or is there something more to it?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's easy to dismiss these stories as folklore,
right.
just overactive imaginations, people wanting to believe in the supernatural.
Yeah, I get that.
But the sheer number of reports, the consistency of the experiences across generations, and the historical context surrounding both the room and the asylum, it makes it really difficult to just shrug it off.
Yeah, you can't ignore all that.
It raises questions about the nature of energy, the persistence of trauma, the possibility that some places, they just hold on to the echoes of past events.
Even if we don't want them to.
Exactly.
It also makes you think about the limits of our understanding. We live in a world where everything has to have a logical explanation, a scientific reason. But what about the things that defy that? What about the things that we just can't explain?
Like the face on the door that reappears no matter what.
Right, or the silhouette left behind by Margaret Shelley.
Exactly.
Those are tangible reminders that there are things we just don't understand.
And maybe that's the point.
What do you mean?
Maybe these stories, these mysteries, they serve as a reminder that the world is a vast and complex place.
Okay.
And it's full of hidden depths, waiting to be explored.
It's a call to stay curious, to keep asking questions.
Yes.
And to never underestimate the power of a place, the power of a single room, like room 428, to hold on to secrets, to hold on to stories, and to shape the experiences of those who dare to enter.
Exactly.
So we have the asylum with its dark history, and we have room 428 with all these unexplained events. What do you think really happened there?
Well, is it the lingering energy of all those traumas? Is it some residue from those occult practices? Or is it just the power of suggestion? Maybe people just want to believe, and they create stories where there are none. That's the thing about mysteries like this. They really make you think. They make you weigh the evidence, consider all the possibilities.
And we may never have a definitive answer.
Exactly.
Maybe that's part of what makes these stories so compelling.
Right, the not knowing. It keeps the stories alive.
It lets us fill in the blank ourselves.
Exactly.
With our own interpretations and our own fears.
It's a reminder that even in this day and age, where we think we know everything, there are still mysteries out there, things we can't explain.
Places where logic and reason just don't apply.
Right. And those places, they can be anywhere.
Like a dorm room or an abandoned asylum. It's a reminder that the world is full of hidden depths.
Absolutely.
And those depths are just waiting to be explored. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely going to think twice before I book a room on the 4th floor of any old building.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
But maybe it's not about avoiding these places altogether.
Maybe it's about approaching them with respect.
And curiosity.
Yeah, a sense of awe for the mysteries they hold.
Because who knows, maybe those mysteries hold the key to understanding something bigger.
Understanding ourselves.
Understanding the world around us.
What other secrets are out there? What stories are waiting to be told?
If you liked the video, share it, leave us a like, and subscribe to our channel, A Look Into the Unknown.